Hello and welcome to the ultimate guide for beginners players in Hands of the Gods. So, the goal of this, whole tutorial or beginner's guide is to tell you everything you need to know to jump into the game and enjoy it and really just give you a head start of knowledge and how the games goes. So, first thing first, this is going to be, the main team the main menu, should I say. And here you can see your levels on your leaders and what are your quests. Now your quests are going to give you favor, right? This is the favor, and with favor you can buy packs and you can buy arena tickets, right? But hold on into that for a moment. Then you'll have runes. This is when you spend money in the game. This is what you get, the currency. And then you have dust, and this you'll have it to craft new cards, to get new cards, or to uncraft cards that you have in extra, right? You also have your player level and your rank level here. So yeah, and basically that's what's in the quest log. You also have some customizable stuff, but there's not much since it's only for beta testers right now. Then you go with the open packs. When you can open packs, you can redeem some codes if you get codes from subscribing to YouTube or Twitter. That's where you enter them, and you can go in the store, and as you can see, you can purchase a pack for 300 favor, or then you can use the money to purchase more, and that's what you get in the open pack. Now in the collection, I'm gonna skip that one right now. I'll talk about it later with you. And the store is basically what we just saw with the open pack. They're like kind of together. Now whenever you hit play button, you're gonna be able to go into 4 different queues if you want. I strongly recommend you guys to do the training and finish all the tutorial missions, right? Once that's done, you can practice yourself against the AI a couple times if you want, and then you can go and play some casual. You will have ranked and arena locked for you. Um, you're going to be able to you're going to be able to play arena if you're level 3 or more in your player level, and then level 10 you'll unlock ranked. Now arena, what is it basically is you're going to be presented a choice of cards, 3 cards each time. You have to pick one, and that will go into your deck. The other one are discarded, and then you pick all of your 25 cards like that, and then you have a deck, and then you play until you lose 12 time or you win 12 time, and you get rewarded for each win that you get. Not only that, but it does cost 450 favor to enter an arena, but you're guaranteed to get at least a pack, and you can win more. You can also win favor and dust in the arena. Well, casual and rank are the same game mode, right? This is the normal game mode where you going in, for example, in a casual, then you can see my decks here with some funny names. And then you choose a deck. This is the level that I am with the Pantheon, and basically you choose the deck. Then it's going to queue you, and then I left queue, but you just wait and you'll get in the game. Rank are from 30 to 1, and I didn't have much time to play. That's why I'm 28th. I just played a couple games, and at 1 you'll be one of the strongest players, and at 30 it's where you are. Depending on where you're at, it takes more win to grind the rank, but as a new player you will most of the time just play casual games, right? So once that's done, now you know a little bit more about the menu, the currency, and what's going on. Also, one thing important is here your friend list. You can add some friends here, see what friends are online. You can delete them, you can message them, and also, well, he just got in the match, but as you saw, he has like a sword here. You can challenge your friends and play for fun against your friends in Hands of the Gods. Now, moving on, I'll just jump into let's see, training versus AI, just to show you a little bit. Oh, I can even decide here. Let's go into easy, random, like just Zeus, and let's go with like Odin. right? So we're gonna jump into a game, and I'll show you a little bit what the game looks like when you start. So now you see your opponent, which will be Zeus, and you see yourself with your name, and that's how you can tell, you know, from the side of the map who is your opponent. Now, not only that, you have to pay attention how much cards do you have in hand. If you're on the right side, you will have 4 cards, meaning that you will go second, meaning that you will also get a mana potion. You do have some time here, as you see, to pick up your starting hand. And for starting hand, you can see I can click on cards and put X. All the cards I don't want to start through, I press X and then I confirm. They will be put back into the deck, and you will redraw new cards. And you can still, even if you only have, for example, 1 mercenary and you put them back into your deck, you can still draw them because you know, it then puts it back into the deck, and there you draw them. So that's what you get. You get the new cards that you didn't want to, and you get the mana potion, which gives you 1 mana for free. So your opponent starts. You can see Zeus play that Fire Imp, and then it's my turn. You have 80 seconds to do your turn. And yeah, keep in mind that, for example, let me just put a Thracian. Whenever you want to place a unit, you need to spawn it around your summoning stone, right? Let me just spawn it here, and that's going to be it, right? If you look at a card, for example, you have the attack to the bottom left, you have the health to the bottom right, and you have the cost of it on the top left. Also, his ability is in the middle, and if it's a god, it's going to be shown at the bottom of the cards. And then you have some spell cards, right? They're just going to be used on a spell. For example, this card deals 3 damage, and if I have less card than my opponent, I draw a card. But I have way more cards than him. So for example, I'm just going to use it. As you can see, select the target, and also it kills it. Now, for our unit, you know, I got silent, so I lose my ability. But it's important to know that if you attack, you cannot move after. So you have to move first and attack after. If you attack straight away, you will not be able to move after. And I think that's about it. Like, everything that you have to know in game. With that, you can start playing, and you know, you start at 2 mana, you gain a mana each turn, and if what happens is you have no more cards to draw, you take a damage for each turn that you couldn't draw a card. So the first turn you take 1, and then the second turn you take 2 and 3, so it goes really fast. So let me just exit out of this game. I'm gonna press the X6 to surrender here. I mean, it's against an AI. It doesn't really matter. And let's talk a little bit more about that, you know, that collection that I didn't talk about before. So, what's in the collection? Basically, it's going to be all your decks, and you're going to be able to, for example, I didn't have a raw deck, so I'm just going to open raw, and then you can, you know, that's just a skin. It's basically the same leader, but with a new voice and a new, you know, model. So let's just pick the regular one because I don't have the other one. And here's your collection. Like you can see, you can have 2 of every card except the legendaries, who are really powerful. And how do you know that it is a legendary card? Well, it's gonna have a different border from the other ones, like these 2, right? And I only have 1. Now, talking about legendaries, I will talk to you about rarity of the cards also. So as a new player, you will only have cards with no gems here, right here. There's nothing, and that's what you get as a new player. Recruiter, Last Breath, these are all new ones. As you can see, free cards cannot be crafted or disenchant. And to craft the cards, it's really simple. Let's say, for example, I want a Capri. I'm gonna right click it, and you can craft it for 8 dust, which is right here, this currency, or you can disenchant it for 1 dust. So you will gain 1 dust, and that's if you have extra cards. You can also use the button to disenchant all your extra cards. As you can see, I already did it, so I have nothing extra in my collection. And that's how you craft cards. Now, for the cost of the cards, everything that is gray is 8 for 1. Everything that is, and that's common. Everything that is blue is rare cards, and that's basically 25 for 5. And then you're moving into epic, which is the purple one, that's 80 for 20, and these cards are a bit hard to get in packs, and the hardest one to get are the legendary, who are 320 by 80, as you can see. But these cards are really powerful, and that's why you can only have one of them in your deck. So yeah, there's a couple of legendaries in the game, and they really do turn the game around. And as you can see here, the skin is legendary, but it's way it costs way more than a regular one just because it's a skin. But this doesn't affect gameplay at all. You can even enchant it for 320 and craft one of the legendaries you don't have. For example, one of these three here. So that's going to be it for the card rarity. Now let me talk about some of the abilities. You can see some of the cards have the keyword Warcry. So basically Warcry, what it says is it's only triggered when you play the card from your hand. For example, Gab is going to give +0/+3 and remove any crowd control effects to a friendly. Crowd control effects are everything that stuns, that roots you, just like in Smite, if you played Smite, for example. Root, like it says it itself, root prevents movement. So be sure to just check out real fast any keywords. For example, charge, it means that it can move and attack immediately the turn you play it, because all the units, when you play them, you cannot move or attack the turn you play them. That's also important to keep in mind. Now, you also have to be worried about something in the cards. Some cards have a sword here in the attack, and other cards have an arrow in their attack. For example, this one is also an arrow, and this one is a sword. So what's the difference? A sword means that the unit is melee, and an arrow means their range. So if a range unit attack a melee unit and they're not adjacent to them, the melee unit would not attack back the unit, right? Because whenever you attack, you get attacked back, unless you're out of range. So basically, the range of all the melee units is 1, and the range of all range units is 3. So a range unit can free poke or free kill or free attack a melee unit. So range units are a little bit more powerful, and they have an upper end if they're out of range of melee units. Though most of the time, a range unit will have a little bit worse stats to compensate for that. So yeah, it's important to be sure that you can move your melee units to your opponent range units, and be careful of not, letting your opponent have too much range units, because then they can all attack your melee units and one-shot them. So that is how you differentiate the melee versus the range unit. And if a melee unit that attack a range unit will always get attacked back also. Now moving on, I'm gonna talk about let's see, the Founders Pack, right? Founders Pack right here, it would unlock for you Poseidon, Isis, Freya, and Anyo, which are 4 legendary cards. It will give you also 15 card packs just to help you out. Also will give you here in the customize the Founders card pack, the beta tester. For Smite, you will have also a border, a loading frame, and the Anyo skin for Bellona. And I think I didn't miss anything, right? I may have missed something, but that's the big. So it gives you a head start in the game for $20 US, which is pretty good. I'm gonna be honest. I bought the Founders Pack, and if you're new to the game and you really like it, and you're thinking about spending some dollars, this will be the best $20 US you can spend on the game. That's for sure. So if you want a head start and you're really enjoying the game, check out the Founders Pack. Now I'm gonna talk about the Pantheons a little bit, bigger. For example, Explore Collection. We have 5 Pantheon right now. We're probably going to have more, but as of right now, we're going to have the Chinese Pantheon, which revolves around comboing your spells and your unit together. For example, Transfusion, who sets a unit attack equals to his health, and the Chang'e, who is a 0/5 range. Well, then she will be a 5/5 range if you go with Transfusion. Also, your ability as a leader ability, I forgot to mention that all leaders have a leader ability. which can be used for 2 mana in game. It's in the bottom left of your, it's like around here when you're playing. I'll go in a game after and I'll show you where it is. So yeah, I'm just going to talk that you can use 2 mana to use the leader ability, and the Chinese one is to add a Crescent Blade into your hand, and for that turn it will cost 0. I know it's not specified, but that's what it's doing. So right now you can see Crescent Blade costs 1, and it deals 1 damage to a unit. But it's a spell, and the Pantheon revolves around spells. So if you combine it with Aokwang, who gives your spell plus 1 damage, your Crescent Blade can do 2 damage, for example. And that's the whole point. Like with Nija, if you play the spell this turn, Nija hits 2 additional times when attacking. And you can see a little bit of the thing with Chinese, comboing with spells. As for Ra, you can use 2 mana to restore 1 health to all friendlies in a target column. And if you go with like Sobek, he gains +1/+1 whenever somebody is healed. And then you can go with Neat, who whenever a friendly is healed gain global range until the end of the turn. And they have a bunch of other gods with other abilities, but they have a lot of healing revolved in Egyptian, and that's one of their things, right? Really building the pantheon around healing. Then we have Greek, who give a friendly god +1/+1, and you have cards like Judgment, who deals 2 damage to a unit, and if you control 2 or more gods, deal 4 damage instead. So they're really revolved around being godly, like the Green Pantheon. You really want to play a lot of gods, not necessarily units. They also have something that punish the units that are not gods. I mean the minions. Sorry. Deal 4 damage to all units that are not gods. Yeah. So units. If you find it a little bit confusing, units is everything that is a god and a minion. Everything that is a god will be specified here, and if you're a minion, let me see here, it will not, there's going to be no god tag attached to it, but both of these are units. Now, so that was for the Greek Pantheon, and then you have the Norse Pantheon, who's deployed a 1/1 Curse Warrior with charge, which is only just like a 1/1, with charge that means can move and attack immediately. And that's really an aggressive deck. The Norse Pantheon is something that wants to finish the game really fast. They do have some more cards that cost a little bit higher, but like their highest cost is 6. And as you can see, they have a lot of cheap stuff at 1 mana and 2 mana and like 3. They have a lot of these early cards. And the Roman are move a unit up to 3 tiles away, so they're like blinking units around, and they're really built to take advantage of tactical movement in the game. For example, Dishonorable deal 2 damage to all enemies who are not adjacent to an other enemy, so you're punishing them for not being in a formation, not being adjacent to each other. They're playing a lot with movement. For example, Terra, who is going to stun all the enemies on a row, so then you have to be careful with that. And you're gonna have cards like Bludgeon, who deal full damage to all units in a column. So they're you really have to be careful of your positioning when you're playing against Roman, and they can really use that to their advantage with their leader's ability. Now, the last one is not a Pantheon, but that is neutral cards. Neutral cards can be played in all the decks, and they're mainly minions. There's no god here, and there's no spell here. It's only minions. As you can see, that's one of the legendaries, Mercenary, with that yellow gem and the different art. So that's why I only have 1. And yeah, you can basically put them in all the decks. So that's going to be a little bit about different pantheons and their playstyle. And let me see if I have everything that I wanted to talk to you about. Yeah, let me just go into game and told you a little bit more about, you know, that leader ability and how to play it. And yeah, but just before that, I just want to show you a little bit of what a curve is in a card game, because it is a card game and a board game. But let me show you with my Bologna, which I have the skin for, and you're gonna be able to hear like the difference between the voices. So you see, you're going to start at 2 mana, so you want something to play at 2 mana. And the curve is that you will play something that costs the exact mana of your turn each turn. So, for example, my curve could be on the first turn playing an Infernal Cannon, then next turn I have 3 mana, I'll play a Mercury. Next turn I have 4, I'll play a Chao Fang. And then at 5, I'll play a Yanis, for example. At 6, a Sylvanas. And at 7, a Blade Master. And that's what is a curve. And it's important that you have something to play each turn in your deck, because you want to follow that, because that could be one of your strongest, you know, when you're starting, you don't want just to skip a turn because you have nothing to play, or you have 10 mana, but then you only play something that costs 3. So you will always to have number of range of possibilities into a deck, right? There's different type of deck, of course, like the aggressive decks will play much lower card, but a lot more trying to finish the game early. Late games yet will have like 8, 9, and 10 drops. So yeah, but the main one is you want to have a decent curve in all of your decks. So let's go into a game and I'll show you what I missed with the eye. I'll just use some Odin so you can see something different. And also I want to show you how to mute your opponent and how to use emotes. So that's going to be the opponent raw. I'll be Odin. And I'm going to go second again because I have 4 cards. So for example, here on the bubble you can, you know, speak a lot of stuff, like for example, hi, and your character is gonna say it. But if your opponent's really annoying with that, you can just go into the bubble of your opponent and mute it, so you will not hear anymore anything of that. And here's your leader ability. You see, for 2 mana, deploy 1/1 Curse Warrior with charge. You can put it here, charge it, and attack it, basically. And each turn, you're gonna be able to use that leader ability. He's going to stun my unit, and you can see I have it again, right? So yeah, that was basically what I missed. So that's going to conclude the tutorial, or should I say the guide for beginning players. I may have missed some little things here and there, but I really, you know, tried to make a list and cover all the subjects that I could for new players. And I hope that this will really make you enjoy the game a little bit more, and especially know a little bit more what's going around with all the things that you can do and all the cards that you get, and where to go to play. So I hope it's going to answer some of your questions as new player. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any more. I'll try to respond to every single comment and that I can. Thank you for watching. Also, it's important that you know that I will be releasing some beginners decks in the upcoming days, so you can check out these decks. I'm going to be doing one for each Pantheon, and I hope that, you know, it will help you out to have a little bit start and have a little better deck than the one that they give you when you're starting into the game. So thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe, comment, and like. So I really appreciate it. Hope that you enjoy it, and I'll see you soon.